Good morning! Today we're going to make grapefruit scones. It's in January, grapefruit season, so it's a nice crisp, clean flavor to make scones at this time of year. I've set you up in a different angle this time because I'm trying different lightings, and I'm limited because I'm the cameraman, I'm the videographer, I'm the lighting, and I'm new to this. This is only my third video. So in here, I've got 2 cups sifted all-purpose flour. And to it, I'm going to add half a cup of sugar. These are sweet scones again. This time I got a tablespoon of baking powder and a teaspoon of salt. And to it, I'm going to add the zest of 1 grapefruit. And I'm going to spin that around a little bit. Just want to get that the zest, picking up some of that flour and get those dry ingredients together. And then I've got 1 stick or half a cup of unsalted butter. I cubed it. What I do is I take it out of the refrigerator, I cube it, and then I let it get to room temperature. It's easier to cut into little cubes when it's cold, and then it's easier to incorporate it like little cube by little cube instead of one big block of softened butter. Yeah, so we're going to let that spin around till it looks like breadcrumbs, like you've seen in my previous episodes of the rolling scones. Hey, if you forward my video, I appreciate it, because I don't know, not that anything will ever come of this, but who knows? I've been making scones for a long time. In fact, this time I'll tell you, while this incorporates that I took cooking in school. I grew up in Bermuda, and my cooking teacher, Mrs. Gray, introduced me to scones. And she, unbeknownst to her at the time, because I was a very quiet kid in class, really touched me with the cooking. And I'd go home and I'd show my mother some techniques and all that. My mother, she knew how to cook, but I think between my learning of it and being in Bermuda and all that just set her cooking skills off. So we kind of like fed off of each other during that time. My ingredients, guess what? It looks like breadcrumbs now. So what I'm going to do is I'm doing these a little different. I've got 1/3 of a cup of plain yogurt. You could use milk. You could use soy milk. You could use the nut milks. I'm using yogurt, and I'm using the juice of 1 grapefruit. The acidicness of yogurt would go well with the grapefruit, and it's going to give it a nice tangy flavor to it. But like I said, milk is fine. Cream, any type of nut milk. You could use rice milk if you want. I'm going to mix that together with the juice of the grapefruit. All that's going to help give a nice grapefruity flavor. We're also going to put a little icing on this when it's done cooking. And then you've got BAM. You've noticed my videos tend to be 8-9 minutes long. I bake them for for about 10-15 minutes, depending on the size of the scone. Notice that you can have scones literally 30 minutes, 40 minutes tops. And that's the beauty of scones. I've now got my scone thing ready. I'm going to put them in a scone pan. I'm doing big scones today, and I'll show you that in just a second. Just a second. Okay, that was literally, I could have just done that. Divided the dough up into 8 equal-sized pieces. I pushed them into my Nordic ware scone pan, and kind of flatten them out a little bit. They're going to kind of expand and move around in the pan. And as you see, and I do this on purpose, so they don't meet up in the corners. That's okay. This is what's called a rustic appeal. You don't want it like looking like it came out of a manufacturer's oven. That is because they're meant to be an imperfect thing. So that's what they look like. I'm going to stick them in a 400-degree oven, and they will be in there about 15 minutes. Okay, it was only 15 minutes, and they are out of the oven. They're ready to roll. So what we need to do is pop them out of the pan, and then I'm going to, when they cool a little more, they don't need to be room temperature, but just a little bit cooler, then I'm going to make a little glaze for them, and it's going to be half a cup of powdered sugar, about a teaspoon of grapefruit zest. Now, you did zest a grapefruit for the whole recipe, which you could do instead of zesting. I said I used the zest of a whole grapefruit. Instead of going ahead and trying to zest a second grapefruit and go, why do I have this extra grapefruit? Just take a pinch out of the other grapefruit, put it aside. And you could do the same thing with the juice. I used the juice of the grapefruit for the thing. You could pull out 2 tablespoons of the grapefruit juice to use as the glaze. That's fine. I totally get there's no need for you to go crazy and get 2 grapefruits and end up like half using one or partially using one, especially if you're not a big grapefruit eater. That's absolutely fine, okay? So let those cool a little bit more. We will make the icing for it, and I will put it on a plate. I'm getting it ready. The grapefruit there is just to show you it's grapefruit, because after a while, scones look like a scones on a plate. So at least this will give you an indication that it's a grapefruit scone. So I'll pause this, and I'll be back in a few minutes. Okay, I've got half a cup of confectioner's sugar, icing sugar, powdered sugar, the powdered, okay? And I put in a pinch of grapefruit zest in there, and I'm stirring it around to get it all to incorporate. And now I'm going to put in a couple of tablespoons of the fresh grapefruit juice that I did from the scones, and I'm mixing it together. And you shouldn't need any more liquid than that. If for some reason you do, and you robbed the juice from your original grapefruit, then we'll just add a little pinch of water. That's all. But you're not going to need it, because if you see right here, you're going to see that it's creamy. You can see the zest in there, which is going to give it a more fresh look instead of artificial flavors. And all you need to do now is put it on your scone. So I'm going to drizzle it, but then I'm going to use a little palette here and spread it around. And we'll put it on a plate, and then you can eat it. And it's going to be warm. It's going to be citrusy. It's going to be a little decadent. And it's definitely a treat, unless you want to have a butt like mine, right? Okay, I'm going to spread it around a little bit. And remember, I'm not a pastry chef. You're not a pastry chef. And if you are, I'm touched that you're even watching me. So it's okay if things aren't 100% uniform or totally correct. This is about a rustic, feel-good, comfort food that you can make in your home under 45 minutes and share with friends or family. And yeah, and they're delicious. So I'll try to hold it for you, and then I'm going to photograph it. You've got grapefruit scones from me, Jennifer, from the Rolling Scones. Look out or subscribe, become a little follower. Go to my blog. The address to this recipe will be in the description. Follow me. I plan to do more. I do have a request for cheddar bacon for Julie. I need to get working on that. I have a request from Donna to make coconut and chocolate. So I will get going on that too. So those are some things to look forward to in the future. Any requests, just let me know. And thanks for watching me at the Rolling Scones.